Before moving on to the second law of generative cores, let's review the definition of the first law once again. A generative core creates a structure by adding a new and significant core one step at a time. This last part is often overlooked, but it is crucial to the generation of structure. As we have seen, cores can take any form, from movement of pieces to adding tiles. When a new core is added to the game, it changes everything, which makes it exciting. It's important to understand that these cores slowly create a structure of bigger cores. For example, in chess, history of moves is generated throughout the match. The structure of cores is a bit more obvious in Carcassonne, as immense landscape features are slowly built through the entirety of the game. Adding cores one step at a time allows players to receive feedback on how pieces are being moved, on how the landscape is being expanded. The second law of generative cores states that whenever a core is added to the existing structure by the first law, the structure is enhanced, but most importantly also preserved by this new core. For instance, in chess, every piece that is moved changes the current structure of moves, making it more complex and deep. It is enhanced by every move. However, let's think for a bit of how movements are made in chess. In this game, you can't make a move if it's not possible. For example, your knight might not be able to capture a pawn if you didn't position it correctly on a previous turn. Moves that are available in chess always depend on the previous moves, on the current structure built in the match. In a way, the second law works as if it were iterative, which means that the current version depends on the previous version. Moves in chess cannot happen magically out of thin air. So, in this regard, moving pieces in chess always respects the structure of previous moves, the current state of the match. Moving a piece changes the structure in some way, while at the same time preserving it as a whole. Similarly, in Carcassonne, building a landscape feature not only expands and enhances the current landscape, but also preserves the current structure. Adding a tile to the landscape enhances it by adding a new degree of complexity, a new world of possibilities on how to continue expanding the landscape. However, remember that players can only connect the drawn tile with a previously placed tile if their landscape features match. This rule makes sure that players cannot destroy the integrity of the landscape. Without this rule, two things could happen. In theory, an unsolvable combination of tiles could be built, which would be catastrophic. Having an unsolvable combination would render some portion of the current landscape useless, making previous turns go to waste. Players being able to add a tile anywhere would also undermine the significance of adding a new core every turn. If a tile can be rendered unusable in future turns, it decreases the importance of adding a tile. The second law of generative cores works to ensure that new cores are significant, that they enhance the game in some way, but also works to preserve what has been built so far. It works not only as an integrity check, but also as an innate balancing system, disallowing unfair plays that could ruin the experience of the players.